This is the United Kingdom, where free speech is illegal.
If you're a keyboard warrior, you're not safe from the law.
It's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Yo, my beautiful people, you know what time it is. It's your boy Shady, the one and only. And today, guys, we are back again. Today we are going to check out inside the country that banned free speech. Inside the country that banned free speech. You guys know what country I'm talking about, guys. Where? United Kingdom, of course. London. Unbelievable. United Kingdom with all the British values. Alright, the UK, London trends for many good reasons, but now, for you guys to know the state at which London is, the whole world is looking at the UK. The whole world is looking at London and they're seeing what Londoners, what British people, what we all are going through. It's a shame. Anyway, guys, without saying too much, let's go straight to action and check this out. First of all, guys, we are just going to give Tyler Oliveira some support, subscribe, like, and let's get to action.
This is the United Kingdom, where free speech is illegal.
If you're a keyboard warrior, you're not safe from the law if you incite violence.
Hate speech is a crime. What are you being persecuted for right now?
This guy has suffered. You see this man here? He has suffered. Okay, I'm not going to lie. He has suffered so much.
Telling the truth and showing the public the truth of journalism. Journalism's dead.
Anti-social behavior can put you in jail.
Arresting you. This is in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page.
This is our reality right now. Some people will watch this video and be like, nah, man, you're not talking about the British people. You're not talking about London. You're not talking about those people that love tea, crumpets, royalty. They've got all this. Guys, this is the reality of this country.
This is in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page.
We do have dedicated police officers who are scouring social media. Their job is to look for this material.
They're scouring the social media. You can scour the streets and find rapists, find murderers, find drug addicts, find drug lords. Knife crime is rampant, but you are scouring the social media. Misplaced priorities. This is what is a classic case of misplaced priorities.
I disagree with Tommy, but come on, freedom of speech.
He's making comments on an open forum, which is social media, which is deemed to be offensive.
They don't believe it. They don't believe it.
You don't let freedom of speech start with them?
I've been asked to come speak to you to make you aware that your comments are visible online.
When you speak to yes. What's up? It's about comments which have been made on social media.
So there's a report about some police being backstage.
Many believe these laws operate within a double standard known as two-tiered policing.
Two-tiered policing.
Protected groups don't get punished while others do.
Look, 92.
Now I've come here because of them babies who's died, and now I'm being arrested.
There's no two-tier policing. There is policing without fear or favour.
Hey, I'm a non-violent guy. Why do I have to turn off? Where's my freedom of speech? Recently, this 61-year-old man named Peter Lynch was convicted of violent disorder after shouting scum and child killers at police and holding this sign.
Get back from the shield! I pray for my children! I pray!
He was sentenced to jail for 2 years and 8 months and killed himself in prison out of fear of Islamist prison gangs killing anyone associated with the term far right.
They're calling a man far right. Imagine a lot of people that have zero criminal records being taken to jail for comments that they made. Meanwhile, on the streets, London streets are not that safe. Okay, every day, they say every hour, yeah, rape is being reported every hour. Every day there are stabbings here, stabbings there, stabbings there. Yesterday, Remembrance Day, mass shooting, stabbing.
I will never have another Christmas for what? For saying he's worried about our country. Are you mad?
And these are thousands of Brits protesting the British government for two-tiered policing, mass migration, the death of free speech, the Islamization of England, and the unfair weaponization of the legal system to imprison journalists and activists like... charged with terrorism for refusing to give the police the password to his phone. In fact,
charged with terrorism. Charged with terrorism.
Charged with terrorism for refusing to give the police the password to his phone. In fact, you might have recently heard the name Tommy Robinson after he was blamed by the media and the British government, claiming he caused riots in Southport for video rants like these posted on Twitter.
Children being butchered and murdered. Stop the f***ing boats. They're endangering the safety of our families.
After a 17-year-old went on a mass stabbing spree, killing 3 little girls in a dance studio. The media told the British public that the stabber is
17, British, born in Wales and of Rwandan heritage.
The suspect has no known links to Islam.
And in turn blamed Tommy for the rioting that ensued.
So do you denounce Tommy Robinson? Do you denounce him for inciting the rioting? By telling people it was a Muslim illegal migrant?
I'm not going to denounce what?
Telling people it was an illegal Muslim?
Turns out, just a few days ago, they found an Al-Qaeda training manual in his computer, teaching him how to build a ricin bomb.
You fought this war on our shores. You brought danger on our shores. They're justified in their anger. Yes, there's a better way to do it, but they don't see no better way.
Now, Tommy has as many supporters as he does haters, with entire counter-protests formed against him and his supporters.
You are on...
Can you see that? My pum-pum is open for refugees. Did I see that? Did I see that? Did I see that? My pum-pum is open for refugees. Blimey.
You are on racist!
F off Nazis. And with nearly the entire British mainstream media labeling them far-right, Islamophobic, racist, and fascist, how did England become this divided?
How?
Is Tommy Robinson a far-right, Islamophobic racist? Or is he a brave journalist speaking up on real issues the mainstream media refuses to acknowledge?
This issue is political Islam. It's political Islam that's spreading across this country.
1,000 years of culture and history is nearly gone. You're a young English man. You should be proud of who you are, not searching for this. I embrace you to leave Islam. Come back, man. Our entire next generation don't know who they are. They've been beaten down so much, abused so much, made to feel ashamed of who they are.
Do you think the UK ends in civil war?
Inevitably, the whole of Europe will end in civil war.
But to understand the state of England today, we'll have to go back in time 15 years ago to Tommy's hometown of Luton, where he started the infamous English Defence League.
This is a 50% Pakistani Muslim town. The town is dominated. The streets are controlled by Pakistani drug gangs. White English are a minority. This is the blueprint for every town and city across the UK.
Why did you end up founding the EDL? What was the impetus? What was the catalyst?
I'd grown up and watched the change in the town. I'd watched the demographic replacement, and I'd seen the attack on freedom. I'd seen the two-tier policing, the two-tier justice, the two-tier everything, where one community, the Islamic community, are treated with kid gloves and everyone else was treated with iron fists. There were prostitution, drug gangs prostituting young white English or black girls, and the police were doing nothing.
More specifically, Tommy is referring to the now infamous grooming gangs, where thousands of non-Muslim girls across England every year are targeted on the basis of being white, referred to as easy meat by mostly Pakistani men who would get them hooked onto drugs and then sex traffic them. Tommy's
You know, this topic is a very difficult topic to talk about. Very difficult. All right, you have to pick your words when you talk about a topic like this. Okay, and because Tommy is calling out all the crimes, all right, he's focused his time to call out all the crimes that have been committed in his area because he's local to Luton. He's calling it out. Well, he's been labelled far-right racist, so basically whatever he does, far-right racist, that's what everyone says.
Mostly Pakistani men who would get them hooked onto drugs and then sex traffic them. Tommy's cousin was a victim of these gangs. The British police didn't do anything despite knowing about the rapes, and the media would not acknowledge or report on the story out of fear that they would be called racist or Islamophobic. Tommy was, in essence, the first person to vocally speak up against these gangs.
There are only 15-year-old girls that you know that you've grown up with that have been raped or pimped. You don't, so I don't expect you to understand the issues.
These are all personal issues of yours.
Personal issues in towns and cities like mine
And they're not happening with the Sikh community, they're not happening with the Jewish community.
And indeed, they're not happening with most Muslims.
No, they're happening within the Islamic community. That's what I'm saying, that it's an Islamic problem. And when I'm just a simple person, so I'm just a normal person, but when I'm looking at, I have to look for where this hatred is coming from. And talking about these girls like they're statistics, they're not statistics. These girls are, well, whose daughters do you think these are? Whose sisters? They're ours. In working class towns and communities, for 20 years, our counsellors and the leaders from the Islamic community have conspired with the police to not deal with Muslim pimping gangs. They've allowed systematic rape of our youth by the fact of being scared to be called a racist.
The police are literally scared of the Islamic community. I'd seen the dominance, I'd seen kids I go to school with, kids I grew up with converting to Islam, becoming part of jihadist gangs. 2013, I looked at the statistics by 2070, and I looked at all the demographical change. The white and black community were going to increase by 1.3 to 1.4%, yeah? The Bangladeshi and Pakistani community by 70 to 80%. So that is how quick the whole town changed. Just whack. What's happened? So where you might be in a community where you think there's not that many Muslims, but they've all got 5 or 6 kids. So go to the local school in that community. So it might be a majority non-Muslim community, but when you go to the lowest school, it's all Muslims.
Okay.
Yeah? It's the birth rate of the Muslim community, which is a ticking time bomb for Europe.
Why are you concerned with the Muslim community and its growth?
Because of the jihad, the non-integration, the segregation, the hostility, the violence, the grooming, the rapes, the prostitution, the heroin, all of these problems, female genital mutilation. There's so many problems that come out of that community which the government just don't deal with. It's a no-go zone for non-Muslims, yeah? It's a whole entire massive area. And it's crazy. It started off when I was little as a little area. Now it's just massive. This town will never be English again. Say that out loud. All the history of Luton town, this is now an Islamic town.
And if this were a Sikh town, would you have the same problem?
I wouldn't have a problem, no.
Tell me why.
No, because the Sikh community integrate, assimilate, and they work very hard. There's no dominating gangs. They're not attacking our culture. In fact, they integrate and they become British. And unfortunately, that's not every Muslim, of course. Look, I'm not saying every Muslim is a problem, but I'm saying...
Okay. See, he's balancing it out now. Okay, listen to him clearly. He's balancing it out now.
Tell me why.
No, because the Sikh community integrate, assimilate, and they work very hard. There's no dominating gangs. They're not attacking our culture. In fact, they integrate and they become British. Okay. And unfortunately, that's not every Muslim, of course. Look, I'm not saying every Muslim is a problem, but I'm saying per se, the Islamic community, there's no integration, assimilation. There's big problems. Straight on, bro. Just pull up straight on that road, and we'll get out of the car there, yeah? On the double yellows.
Okay. And is Luton ruled by Sharia law right now?
The Islamic community, the Islamic areas, yeah. That's their areas ruled by Sharia law.
That's
we are risk coming in here with you, given who you are.
Wait, stop it. Is that Sharia law in the UK? Is it?
Okay. And is Luton ruled by Sharia law right now?
The Islamic community, the Islamic areas, yeah. That's their areas ruled by Sharia law.
Are we at risk coming in here with you, given who you are?
We are at risk, but it's 10:30 in the morning and a lot of them don't get out of bed.
So we made our way into Luton, Tommy's hometown, and where he's public enemy number 1.
What are you trying to say? There's many times I've been attacked in this town centre, many times I've come under violent confrontation in this town centre, but this is my town centre. See what these are? You obviously understand what these are.
What are these?
These are diversity barriers.
These?
Well, they're to stop terrorist attacks.
It's real?
I'm not joking. They're diversity barriers. This will go straight back up now, and these are to stop cars coming through and mowing everyone down.
Okay.
And we have these in every town centre. You know our Christmas markets? Christmas markets now are literally just entire things like this, fortified to get anywhere near the Christmas market because they expect cars to come flying into them. So as I said, the more Islam, the less freedom.
Okay, so are you Islamophobic?
There's no such thing as Islamophobia. A phobia is an irrational fear.
Sure.
All the things I talk about, when you pick up the Quran, there's 100 verses in the Quran which incite violence against non-Muslims. There's 4 verses in the Quran that say that Muslims can take non-Muslim women as sexual slaves. Actually, one of those verses say they're blameless. Now, when we see the statistics that we have in the UK, Muslims make up 5% of the UK population. They're responsible for 90% of the convictions of groups of men, young kids. Why? Why isn't it Sikhs? Why aren't the Jews doing that? Why aren't the Hindus doing that? Why is it the Islamic community? 30% of the men convicted of gang rape of children are called Muhammad. Islam promotes it.
You think Islam promotes it or extremist Islam?
Muhammad. Was Muhammad an extremist? Muhammad beheaded 600 people in one day. Muhammad women. Muhammad married a 6-year-old when she was 9. When people say about extremism or Islam, there is only Islam. There's not extremist Islam, moderate Islam, there's Islam.
Can you explain the difference between cultural Islam and religious Islam?
Many Muslims are just born with a Muslim identity and they feel like they have to defend it, yeah? Okay. But even when you're talking about it, they don't know what they're defending. Sure. They don't know everything about the life of Muhammad. They don't know he murdered, he pillaged. They don't know the life of Muhammad. But they're born Muslims. So I'd say they're cultural Muslims. But then you have the real religious fanaticisms, the fanatics, which this town is full of.
Or how did this town become the terrorist capital of Europe?
Well, because we allowed Al-Mujahideen, in fact, our government foreign policy was to actually, when the Soviet war was going on, when it suited us to fund radical Islam with the Taliban and groups like this in Afghanistan, we gave home to many of these groups. So this group in this town centre, Al-Mujahideen, who are a prescribed terrorist organisation, their head office was here in my town. There's 60% of the Muslims in jail for terrorism, ex-members of that group. Their head office was in this town centre.
One day to eradicate Muslim law from Britain, with the generations to come from the rest of the world, to fulfil the prophecy of the Prophet that the whole of the world will one day be under the authority of the Muslims.
In 2004, I started my first demonstration against them. In 2004, called Ban the Luton Taliban, and I was targeted since then by Islamic gangs for trying to talk out. And all I was trying to highlight is these are jihadists, these are terrorists. And literally, where we're walking now, you see there's a bakery here called Don Miller's Bakery. They used to have a stall set up every Saturday recruiting for terrorism. If you want to know how powerful the word racist is, if you want to know how the power of political correctness, our entire police forces across the country were paralysed with fear to allow the rape of a generation of our daughters. 1,000 girls in Telford, 1,400 children in Rotherham. The police were fully aware that the children were being prostituted, ganged and kidnapped by Muslim gangs, and the reason they didn't act, which has come out in government studies, because they were fearful of being called racist. An 18-year-old migrant who came on a boat 6 months ago murdered a 27-year-old Englishwoman who was working in the hotel that he was being housed in. So in hotels, there's a hotel here, there's a hotel there. Yeah, we can go to the hotels if you want after this, yeah? So in these hotels, they have housed so when migrants come into our country, they get put straight in these hotels. We pay for them. And just yesterday, an 18-year-old migrant murdered a 27-year-old Englishwoman working in the hotel. And 2 days before that, an Afghani put in a military base who we've brought here to give freedom from Afghanistan, he sexually raped a 16-year-old.
So was there a public conversation at this point, or did you start that? Did you pioneer the conversation discussing this?
No one would discuss it. Everyone's too scared to discuss it, because when you try and discuss it, you just get attacked violently.
Were you violently attacked the moment you started talking about it?
Instantly. I've had 12 government Osman warnings. There's 6 Muslims right now in jail for 30 years. They got caught with guns, suicide bombs, everything on the way to murder us. They got there 2 hours late. They were arrested then in their car, where they found their suicide vests, etc. I've been under constant attack, constant death threat, life in danger. Even just 6 weeks ago, my mum and dad had to be relocated for threats to murder them.
So
this is insane. Listen, this is insane. Please, guys, comment section. I need to hear what you guys know about this, your take on this. This is really deep and insane. When I thought that, I've heard quite a lot, from Tommy's documentaries before, when you guys recommended it to me like last year. Wow, this is scary. Well, let's keep listening.
Why make this your cause? Why were you willing to take on the threat here? Why is this so important to you? Why are you so concerned?
This is my country. It's our country. Let's stop pretending that we have welcomed guests into our nation, have now overstayed their welcome. They're changing this country. They're not here to integrate. They're here to dominate. And I know you've had immigration. When I hear about Americans and they're moaning about Hispanic immigration, I think you've got no idea, lads. You've got absolutely no idea. You have just opened your borders to 8 million migrants from Somalia, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan. You're going to see what's coming.
We're walking right now. Are you concerned? Are you nervous?
Yeah, crazy. 100%.
What do you mean?
Any one of them that would have seen us will be straight on their phones.
Doing what?
Phoning more Muslims.
For what?
To come and get us.
Come and get us? What do you mean?
To come and violently attack us.
For what? Having a conversation?
But, mate, you're not allowed to talk about Islam.
Tell me about the concerns you have regarding...
So you're not even allowed to talk about it. So somebody just talks. Just talk, want to talk. Let's talk about this, I feel that I have an issue, so basically someone says, they feel they have an issue and they want to talk. You're not even allowed to talk about it.
For what? Having a conversation?
But, mate, you're not allowed to talk about Islam.
Tell me about the concerns you have regarding freedom of speech here in the UK, the loss of it.
There is no freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is gone. Stop pretending it. There is no freedom of speech. We live in a post-free speech era. But the problem is the goalposts keep changing. So some people celebrated when it was me losing my freedom of speech, yeah? When they were censoring me, or because I speak about Islam, but then they started censoring doctors, nurses, yeah, scientists. We're talking about COVID, we're talking about everything. So here's the Discover Islam Centre. So they're not going to be happy with...
Explain the significance of Discover Islam.
It's a charity shop that was opened in order to convert the town to Islam. Hey, bro.
Hello.
I'm all right, man. How are you?
How you doing?
The purpose of this shop is to convert the town to Islam.
Okay.
Right? That's right?
It's for dawah, yeah.
To convert to
dawah. Not to convert to invite.
Wow. Wow, this is very, very crazy, mate. This is getting crazier and crazier and crazier than I thought, you know what I mean? Okay. Look, I'm even getting sweaty. Like, it's making me sweat. Wow. Okay.
And the man who opened this centre, the first manager, was called Yusuf Bonner, and he said he actually had to resign because I exposed who he was before they opened the shop. This was funded by Ira, Abdul Rahim Green, so the people behind this centre are radicals who believe in punishment for adultery, all these sorts of things.
What are your thoughts on that?
No, it's not true.
That is 100% true. Okay. Was you when this centre opened and the council opened it, I looked into everyone behind it and I done an expose, and the manager had to resign before the day it opened.
Well, I don't know too much. I've only been working here like a few months, to be fair.
Okay.
When did you convert, bro?
Me, a year ago.
A year ago?
Yeah.
How do you like Islam thus far?
It's peace. It's peaceful, like it makes me feel like I can show the world the true me. And it's the true religion, really.
Can we get the Quran? Have you got the Quran? Can I touch it?
Yeah, of course you can.
Sure, yeah?
Why couldn't you touch it?
Because I'm not clean.
I see.
If you can look at verse 65. So this, as for such of your women as despair of menstruation, if you're in doubt, their period of waiting shall be 3 months, along with those who have it not. And for those with child, their period shall be till they bring out their burden. And whoever, what's that mean?
Me, I don't know. Like I said, I've only been
that talks
like
about divorcing prepubescent children.
I'm still doing my research myself.
I'm still doing it. Okay, so if you're new, I'm not here to.
Yeah, sorry. I guess
my problem? So not to put you in an awkward position, yeah. Because my problem is that verse talks about divorcing prepubescent children. That's what that verse is about. Yeah. So Muhammad married Aisha when she was how old?
That we do not know fully yet.
Right? We know from Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, the two of the leading world hadiths. So how old was Muhammad then when he married Aisha? How old was Aisha?
Aisha was probably about between 9 and 11, I would say.
No, she was 6. So Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim are two of the most recognised. The problem is it's great if you think she was older. That's still a bit strange at 9, 11. But it's great if you think she was a lot older. But the problem is Sahih Bukhari, which means authentic. There's 5 leading authentic hadiths, and they state that she was 6 years old, and he raped her when she was 9. They'll say marriage, yeah?
Got it. Would you date an 11-year-old?
No, obviously not.
So do you believe Muhammad was perfect?
Yeah.
But Muhammad, you just said married an 11-year-old.
Because things were different back those days, they weren't.
So he wasn't perfect in this modern time.
But if you look back in the history, like even kings of England, they married
Richard
younger.
Lionheart had an 11-year-old wife.
Yeah.
But we don't think Richard Lionheart's perfect. We don't want to build this whole country based on what Richard Lionheart lived his life as, whereas you want this country to be on what Muhammad lived, yeah?
Me, like I said, I'm still new in it. I'm still new to Islam, like, so...
My point was that this shop has been opened by my council to convert everyone to Islam. And unfortunately, look, you've got a revert here. You'd call yourself a revert. I'd say a convert who doesn't actually know anything about Islam.
Do you think that's true?
No, I do know a little bit, but obviously I'm still learning. I'm still learning.
Student.
So you're a student, but you're not allowed to leave Islam now.
What would happen if you left Islam?
What would happen if you left Islam?
Nothing.
So Muslims should be free to convert to Christianity.
A lot of them are, to be fair.
Should they be free to convert to Christianity?
If that's what they want to do, yeah, of course.
So Muhammad says they have to be killed. Idolaters must be killed. Mate, if you want, I can teach you on Islam, so then you can undress like this and come back to our side and enjoy your freedom. Put you in, and
I made the choice to come to Islam.
But so if you don't think that was heavenly like Allah has sent someone to marry a child and have sex with her when she was 9, is that perfect? Come on, bruv, is it perfect?
That one I have to go to no comment.
You have to go no comment. So your point is, you know it's not perfect. So what you've joined is you've joined. You're a Luton boy.
Yeah.
What school did you go to?
Ashcroft.
So from up Stopsley?
Yeah.
That's where I'm from. How old are you?
31.
31. See how the town's changed? See, the town's changed because you ain't got an identity, bruv. Because your identity, you're a young English man. You should be proud of who you are, not searching for this. And the reason that this is strong is...
Yeah, I mean, okay, still, if somebody, decides to choose any faith, it's their business. If somebody decides they want to jump in the lion's mouth, it's their business. If somebody decides they want to go to paradise and they walk towards paradise, it's their business. If somebody decides to eat fish, it's their business. If somebody decides to eat poison, it's their business. I can tell them, oh, bro, you're eating that fish. You're allergic to fish. Oh, bro, you're eating poison. It could kill you. Bro, this. But I will never tell someone, stop this. don't do this, move to this place, change your opinion. No, everybody has a right to their opinion. He decided his opinion to be that. He decided that for himself. All right, and then all we can say to someone for whatever decision they've taken, yeah, whether we support or not, good luck. Like, you support them, good luck. You don't support them, good luck. Like, at least people need to enjoy their freedom. But to be honest, as a Christian, I have my Christian views, because Christians, we have a certain view that we think, but we still allow people to be free.
Islam has a strong sense of identity, and we've lost our identity, and we've lost our community, and Islam gives them this. Go to verse 424. Yeah?
He's got a verse.
424. And all the married women are forbidden except those captives whom your right hand possesses. It is a degree of Allah for you, lawful to you all beyond those mentioned, so that you seek them from your wealth and an honest wedlock, not debauchery. And those of whom you seek by marrying them, give to them. So all of them who are captive, this is the verse, there's 4 verses that tell Muslims clearly that outside of their 4 wives, they can take non-Muslim women, our daughters, as sexual slaves. That's why I have a problem. Bro, I embrace you to leave Islam. Okay? Come back, man.
Okay, Tommy, question for you. Yeah, let's say you have a Bible verse that says, stone the gays or something like that, Sodom and Gomorrah. Would there be an argument to be had that you shouldn't?
The verse is stories put together. This is the exact word of Muhammad, and it must be taught. And there's no messing with this.
I like how Oliveira is trying to balance things out, okay? Because some people feel their religion is perfect, okay? But then you can pull out verses in different religions to show some imperfections. Well, looks like imperfections, but then they say you need a deeper understanding to understand things. But what I would say about Oliveira, big up to him for trying to balance things out and trying to be unbiased. Neutrality is very, very important.
Would there be an argument to be had that you shouldn't?
It is stories put together. This is the exact word of Muhammad, and it must be taught. And there's no messing with this. This can't be changed. Muhammad was perfect. As I said, Muhammad was perfect. Was he perfect? Married a 6-year-old? No. Murdered. Do you know how he met his wife Sophia? No. Now look into it, bruv, because he beheaded her husband, and he beheaded 600 of the tribe, and the night of beheading her husband, he married her.
And where's that information?
That is in Ibn Ishaq's biography of Muhammad. Again, the most recognised biography of Muhammad you'll ever get in the world, written by the biggest scholar in the world, Ibn Ishaq, and in there it says in black and white, the tribe, the Qayyuba tribe, surrendered. He beheaded 600 of them in one day, and then that night he took Sophia as his wife. Now what Muslims say is he saved her from a life of rape, but he raped her that night, bruv. That's no perfect man. Anyway, I'll let you go.
Now, after having this chat, Tommy and I dipped as we were concerned the local gangs might pull up and jump us given who Tommy was, but one of the journalists trailing us stayed behind and asked this guy why he converted in the first place.
Okay. So basically the reasons were because my dad actually follows Tommy Robinson, and him hating Islam so much got me interested in Islam to find out why they hate Islam so much. Sorry. Yeah, Tommy's just turned up to the centre, bro. Nah, he's just jumping in his car now, but he's made the video. Sorry. Yeah.
He doesn't know who he is, he doesn't know where he's come from. That is our entire next generation. Our entire next generation don't know who they are. They've been beaten down so much, abused so much, made to feel worthless, made to feel ashamed of who they are. Now, when Muslims are telling us openly, the reason I'm doing this is because the book says this, we have to take them seriously, and we have to look and explore what are the teachings of Islam? What does Muhammad say? Who is Muhammad? You see, when I started looking, he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything about Muhammad.
We put him on the spot, yeah.
We put him on the spot, but he doesn't know anything about Muhammad.
Sure. Well,
Here he is to tell people to join Islam,
sure,
but he doesn't know what he's talking about. This was pushed by my council.
Yeah.
My local council opened this. All my local leaders of the council come down and had a big photo, and when they've done that, I'll dig it up for you.
Yeah.
I researched into who was behind it and proved they're all terrorists. The leader of this, Yusuf Bonner, said that he will not rest until Islam is brought into every home in Luton. Well, guess what? I'm from Luton, and we don't want Islam in every home in Luton.
Okay.
This is our town.
Do you believe the objective is for them to conquer and pillage?
Well, no, they'll tell you the objective.
Now, Tommy.
Come on, because there'll be more. I told you.
Yo, my name's Hassan.
Hey! Luton represent!
Yeah. In another 10 or 15 minutes, this road will be...
Oh, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Wow. Like, there's just so much going on. Okay, anyway. Patience, guys. Enjoy this video. Patience.
Swarmed with Muslims.
You actually think so?
Oh, I know so.
And what is their objective? To defend the precepts of Islam?
Yeah,
to kill you?
They had to kill me, to stop any criticism of Islam, to stop someone showing someone like that what Islam is.
Well, what you did was basic media literacy. You pointed to some concepts, some verses. What do you mean you're not allowed to? Did they not read the book themselves, or did they say it's a non-literal interpretation of the works and you shouldn't take it?
You're not allowed to talk negatively, Muhammad, or they want to kill you. So straight over here, to the left, bruv.
Got it.
Left. So basically, this is the future of Great Britain.
Halal, cash and carry. Arabic.
Well, where are we? If you
I would say we're in the Middle East.
This is my hometown. This is my hometown.
And was it always this way?
No, it wasn't, no.
So you grew up when this was a British town?
I grew up when there used to be a McDonald's there, and I used to come down here with my mum.
You used to have fish and chips here?
Used to have fish and chips. Look, I grew up here, mate.
Okay.
This town, the whole town, it's gone. The whole town's gone.
Have British people fled the town? Have they left? Have they said, I no longer belong here?
Left. Everyone in my generation has left. I haven't got a single friend left in this town. Out of my generation is deaf. You're not allowed to criticise. He's talking about, you can leave Islam. No, you can't. Leaving Islam is punishable by death.
What if he left?
Go right here. If he left, he'd be bullied, attacked. He can't leave. He knows he can't leave. Is that road we just drove down?
Yeah.
Walk through there, and that is a microcosm of the future of Great Britain.
Anyway, I mean, one thing that I do know, okay, there's some things that I do know though, like in my country, right, before I thought that Islam was from Nigeria. I never knew, because we have Christians and Muslims, okay. In my country, what we know is that Muslims never convert. They always remain Muslims. And some Christians have become Muslims. They try to convert. That is a story for another day. They try to convert and they have to leave town. And there are some Muslims that I know in my country. I mean, I don't know them personally, right? She likes a Christian guy. She wanted to get married to him. She had to run away. And I know that Muslims are very strict with their religion. They don't like mixing with other faiths, okay? That's just common knowledge. That's just general knowledge, common knowledge. We grew up knowing all of those things. So we just know how to be like, okay, you know what? These people of this faith, they like to act this way. We allow them to be them. And there's something that we're all taught that's very important. They say, never talk about religion with a Muslim. As a Christian, we don't talk about religion with Muslims. If they bring up conversations about Islam or Christianity, we just change the topic. We're like, no, we'd rather not talk about that, because a lot of times it doesn't go down well. Okay. Now this is Nigeria I'm talking about, not the United Kingdom. So that's as I'm hearing things like this in the UK, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's Islamic. I'm just here to explain to you as an American, these centres are opened in every one of our towns, and the purpose of these centres, which are funded by our local Labour councils, is to convert the town to Islam. So the local Labour political party, which is your Democrat party, are funding the conversion of the town into an Islamic ghetto like this. And what comes in an Islamic ghetto like this? Is it freedom? Are the women free? Can women walk down here at night? Could an English woman walk?
What would happen?
They come under attack. They'd be sexually harassed. So if he was an imam, you'd have got the real answer out of him. Yes, they want to kill homosexuals. Yes, they can take non-Muslim women as sexual slaves. They're allowed to. That's halal. We're allowed to do that. That's another mosque.
Cockney Community Luton.
Madrasas. So they stop going then to British schools. That's a school. So then their whole life, and there's interviews with
They're self-segregating.
There's interviews with Muslims here that I can show you online where they say, well, I left school and I've left school and I've never met a non-Muslim. So they haven't even met a non-Muslim.
You're in Luton, in England.
Here in Luton.
Why even come here is my question. If their goal is to recreate where they...
To dominate the world.
Do you think the goal is truly world domination?
Islamic. Islam splits the world into two. The House of War and the House of God. Yeah? We're the House of War until we're fully converted to Islam, and then we become the House of God.
I need to really, talk to someone about this. Like, maybe talk to a Muslim friend about this and ask them questions so I can hear what they have to say, because... it's good to get sources from like different places, okay? I think I need to do that because now, it makes me want to know. I want to know, okay? I really want to know.
Identity and culture of it is very powerful, and it's changing the face of this country forever. And who's going to stop it? Because our politicians ain't. Are we going to just sit and play the lottery with Great Britain's future and our children's future? Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens when Islam gets to 20%. No, let's not see. Because we know what happens throughout the whole of history. In fact, they're actually taught at which percentage to start war. War's coming. Whether we like it or not, we have 40,000 British Muslims on a terror watch list. 40,000. We only have 70,000 members in the armed forces.
Do you think the UK ends in civil war?
Inevitably, the whole of Europe will end in civil war. Civil war's coming. If there's even a war. If not, it's just going to be Islamic takeover.
Yo. This is insane, okay? When I picked up this video, I didn't expect any of this at all. Or I didn't expect any of this at all. This is some craziness, some crazy mad things that I'm hearing in this video, okay? And like I said to you guys, it's always good to verify information. So I have questions I'm going to ask my Muslim friend. I have questions, or maybe I'll play this video for him and ask him, bro, explain this to me. Like, why is Tommy saying this? Okay, I'll say, bro, explain this to me. You are a Muslim. You are my friend, right? I need to know these things, because at this point after hearing all of this like this, it's like, man, I want to know. Okay, I want to know. Anyway, guys, this is the end of part 1. Okay, we're going to get part 2. I'm going to catch you soon. Take care, love. Peace out.
Oh, I love you more than words can say. You are me. Oh, you are the light that shine in my way. You are me. Oh, I love you more than words can say. You are me. Oh, you are the light that shine in my way.